Shares of Limbach Holdings jumping following their latest earnings report. The building systems solution company reporting a revenue beat for the first quarter. Joining me now to discuss is Mike McCann, Limbach CEO and President. Mike, it is good to see you. So I know heading into this print, Mike, your stock was up about 20% this year, was up around 120% over the past 12 months. It's higher here in the after hours, Mike. I know your first quarter is typically your softest, but walk me through the report, Mike, what you're seeing in the business.
Yeah, no, definitely. We're happy that we're off to a good start. I think a couple things to note: record net income, 10.2 million, which is really exciting. Our shift from new construction GCR towards owner direct, we continue that momentum, 67.9%. Good growth from an EBITDA and revenue perspective from Q1. So, our story has been very much about following our own path, and I think in some sense taking a very different path than a lot of other E&C companies. And I think in Q1 we got off to a continued good start.
There is concern, Mike, you know this about the macro. I've had plenty of smart economists come on the show and tell me they think the odds, the probabilities of a recession are rising. So I'm just curious, when you're talking to customers right now, what are you hearing?
Sure. So, the company's been around a long time, and part of the reason we shifted our strategy is ultimately in periods of uncertainty, the markets that do the best are really mission critical type environments: healthcare, life science, industrial manufacturing. Those type of facilities have to spend no matter what. Other type of less critical environments, residential, those type of environments, they will flex based on what happens. I think the other thing that's nice about working in these really mission critical environments is in some years they're on a CapEx cycle, on some years they're on an OpEx cycle, but they're going to have to spend those dollars. So it just kind of goes along with our story that working in existing buildings in critical environments, that's what's really helped us. And we believe that will really continue to help us, through any other cycle that ultimately pops up.
What about the Trump tariffs, Mike? I'm curious how that's been affecting and impacting the business.
Yeah, so for us, it's been pretty neutral. Ultimately, prices have risen quite a bit. The one thing that's helped us, and I think, again, we've learned from the past, is our ability to pass along costs quickly. Our projects tend to be very short in duration, no more than 3 or 4 months typically. In our past, when we had long-term projects, it was a lot more challenging because you would set pricing at time of bid, and ultimately you'd have to deal with price increases, and no owner wants to hear that the prices have gone up. So our whole model has been about being nimble, flexibility, and I think that's really helped us. Some owners too, in our model, they may delay an expenditure, but they're going to have to make a short-term repair. And one thing that we've done in the business the last 12 months or so is we've had a rental fleet as well. So if somebody's waiting for a part due to something that's coming overseas, or if somebody's concerned that whether they're going to replace that piece of equipment, we've seen tons of requests from a rental equipment perspective, basically to keep that system running while they make that decision. So a lot of different things have ultimately happened from that environment perspective. For us, it's been neutral, and I think we're always trying to get customers to make decisions quicker, bring information to the forefront, and allow them to have options about what's right for their business.
I'm curious, Mike, just given the macro backdrop, the Trump tariffs we're discussing here, has that affected, Mike, how you're leading this company, the decisions you're making, just, in terms of investing, spending, headcount?
Yeah, so in some sense, we've always been, we're always trying to build a model that's as microeconomic, independent as possible. And what we've really done is, in some sense, we really doubled down on our customer relationships. In those mission critical environments, this year we've added quite a few different salespeople to our staff. We want to embed ourselves as much as possible. We want to be that indispensable partner where they can't go elsewhere. So it's not so easy if one phase of new construction for a certain company in the E&C space, they can't just dramatically just drop into an existing building environment. So in some sense, we really double down and try to strengthen our relationships. The other thing that's been really important from our customers is we want to make sure that we are presenting solutions. And one thing that we're really focused on is gathering data from the customer, whether it's utility bills, facility assessments, asset data, history. How can we go back and analyze that data and present the right solution? And there's always options at the end of the day. So this year, I think, is another great opportunity with some of this ultimately uncertainty that customers hear, is say, hey, if you spent this much money the last couple of years, how can I better spend the money going forward? And how can I find incentives to make your dollar go further?
Mike, great to have you on the show today. Thanks so much.